is that a person is wearing the ihram. Now when he wears the ihram, he says, Allahumma inni uridu al-umrah. Ya Allah, make the irada of umrah. And then he says, Labbaik Allahumma labbaik. Now this is one dhikr you have to learn off by heart. No compromise on this. Labbaik Allahumma labbaik. So learn that much. Try to avoid saying that in your mother tongue. Learn that much, because this is a dhikr that will be made many a times. So labbaik Allahumma labbaik, labbaik Allahumma labbaik, la sharika lak labbaik. So you learn that dua. So once you have said this, now of course you're going to be on the bus, you're going to be traveling to the noble sanctuary. Try to keep yourself. Now if one person in sleep put a blanket over himself, nothing to worry about. There's no dam. There's no dam. I'm going to tell you what we're going to do right at the end. We're going to give a little bit of sadaqah, charity, for all the mistakes, minor mistakes that we have made, $20, $30. Once Hazrat Ali was asked that, somebody asked Hazrat Ali that I killed a ant. What is the dam? He said, killing an ant, there shouldn't be nothing. It's only a small thing. Killing an ant. So that ant that has come to bite you, you don't go out to bite them. So it's an ant that has come to bite you. You are allowed to remove it, and in process, if Malakul Maut came to visit the ant, then there's no dam upon this. You can give 1 or 2 dirham, that's good enough. So to accommodate for all the minor mistakes that have been made, we will give charity at the end. We'll give $20 or $30 to a poor person, so that will cover for all the minor mistakes. So now a person is saying, Labbaik Allahumma labbaik, try to keep your face uncovered, head uncovered, and try to be mindful of the slippers, the footwear. For the ladies, especially those ladies that wear the niqab. Now in the time of, there's a hadith in Ibn Majah, that Hazrat Aisha Siddiqa radiallahu ta'ala anha, she uncovered her face. She uncovered her face. Now there wasn't many people in those days, droves and multitudes of people. The group was very small. So when she found that certain people were coming towards her, then she used to cover her face. She used to turn her face. But normally she kept her face uncovered. But nowadays we don't find any station in Makkah or Medina where the ladies can sit down and believe that no one is coming. There's always people around it. So we have to maintain, yes? Is there anyone? No. So we have to maintain the principle that the covering should not touch the face. So for those ladies that wear the niqab, they should have a baseball cap. The baseball cap like this, and then they drop the cloth over it. Now keep in mind, I want to make this very clear up here. Human health is very important. Safety of the women is very important. You have to understand that there's thousands of people, left, right and center. Now, many sisters, they have experienced claustrophobicness when they're put this cloth over them. It's like a tunnel vision.
Claustrophobia.
Yeah, they feel very, they're struck by anxiety that, it's a tunnel vision. And many a times sisters have dropped as well. So if the sisters feel that they can't and they're going to drop down and they've been struck by anxiety, they can remove it. The ruling is there, they can remove it. Don't be too rigid in that aspect. Alright. Now a person, he makes it to the house of Allah. So he's making the talbiyah. Now normally you say labbaik Allahumma labbaik whenever you change your position. So if you're in a sitting position, you make the talbiyah. When you're standing, you make the talbiyah. Whenever you change in position. And we see that in salah as well. That we say Allahu Akbar. Now we don't say Allahu Akbar until we change the position. When we go into ruku, we say Allahu Akbar. When we come up, then we say Allahu Akbar. So whenever we change in position, we say Allahu Akbar. The same format is applied to talbiyah. When talbiyah, you keep saying it continuously, consistently. But whenever you change position, that is when you are highly recommended to recite the talbiyah. Now you make it to the house of Allah. Now, when you made it to the house of Allah, of course, people want to get out of the ihram as quick as possible. Especially men, because they want to take a shower, so on and so forth. So, don't rush the rituals. Even if you have to stay in the ihram for an extra hour, it doesn't matter. Because it's a one-off in a lifetime. So, enjoy the moment. So when you go to the house of Allah, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to place your eyes on the noble sanctuary of the Kaaba. Now, nowadays the construction is such that you can't enjoy what we enjoyed many years ago. So there's different levels in the mataf, so you can't really enjoy that full vision of the Kaaba. I believe you can't now. I haven't been there for a long time, but what we have seen on the TV, you can't enjoy that moment. But long ago, you could stand there and you could see the whole thing. Right? So nowadays, whatever you can see, just go there, stand there, and take time. Quench your thirst to the best of your ability. Make a lot of dua there. Make a lot of dua. Now, I don't know if... Right, so the picture's not there. Alright. The picture is there. So this color paper, I know it's in Urdu, but you don't need to know the language just to see the Kaaba. So you see the Kaaba on the first page. You see the picture of the Kaaba on the first page. So you see the door, and I would like you to focus upon the corner beside the door. So the door, look at the corner on the left side. The corner on the left side of the door is the starting point of the circuits. So when you go there, you will see, for example, this is the Kaaba. And now let's say this side of the Kaaba has the door. And this is the cut, the corner. From this corner on the ground, there will be a line colored on the ground, right till the end. So when people come there, they know that this is the starting point. Now, if you can, most probably you can't, you can touch the Hajj Aswad, but that's not going to be a possibility in Hajj without pushing, and you don't want to push people. So you can stand on that line, turn around, so you are facing towards the Hajj Aswad, and then you can raise your hand and say Allahu Akbar, kiss it like this. So this is working as a stick by which you are touching the Hajj Aswad. So Hajj Aswad, the black stone is far away, so you just raise your hand. It is like you are using this hand as a stick that is touching the Hajj Aswad, and then you kiss this hand, and then you start the circuit. Now, a lot of people say that when you are making the tawaf, do not look at the Kaaba. It is highly recommended not to look at it, but if you do once or twice glance, it is no done. There's no penalty, right? All right, now, I would like my noble brothers and sisters to keep in mind. Look at the sketch once again of the Kaaba. So if you start from the door, that corner, you go around one side, then you go around the other side. Whenever you are passing by, just say Rabbana atina fid dunya hasana wa fil akhirati hasana. Make this dua. You can make any other dua as well. We'll speak about the duas as well. There is a section known as Rukn Yamani. Now Rukn Yamani is that corner of the Kaaba that is facing towards Yemen. That's why known as Rukn Yamani. So from Rukn Yamani to the corner where you start the tawaf from, that is a section, two corners, one and two corners, is where Rabbana atina fid dunya should be recited in abundance. Alright. Now once that has been completed, what are you going to do? You're going to go to the Zamzam. So you go to the Zamzam and you drink as much as you can. So you've done 7 circuits. Yes?
It shows that you actually start your first one from the closest and then come out. But if you can't reach there, then...
No. Don't worry about it. You are doing Hajj. There is 2 million people there. Don't worry about posters and where you are. Just perform the circuits. Don't worry about starting from here and then coming outwards. Just say, Alhamdulillah, you're there. You can't worry about where you're going to start from. Alright? So wherever you are, so what you do is you just perform 7 circuits. So you start from that section, you come, and then you say Allahu Akbar. You don't have to turn around really. You just say Allahu Akbar and keep going. Keep going. You don't have to turn around in the second and the third and the fourth and the fifth. Alright? So you just say Allahu Akbar and keep going. Now, keep in mind, experience has made us much wiser, that when people reach that line, there's a stampede behind because people pause there, they halt there. So keep in mind that you are not too quick behind because people have stopped there and they're doing all this stuff and all this stuff. So that's why, to be on the safe side, when you reach that area, just say Allahu Akbar and keep going. Don't spend too much time there because People behind do not know, people in front do not know as well, and then many people are crushed in the middle. I will say to the people that are with their women, it is better to find the second level of the mataf. There's a second level of mataf, I believe. Try to go to that level where there's not too much rush. Anyway, first you reach that, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, seven done. Now, in the first, second and the third, for the men, alright, so how do you wear the ihram? So when you wear the ihram, the right shoulder is uncovered. Keep that in mind. Right shoulder is uncovered. So when you are making the tawaf, in the first 3 circuits, you should pop out your chest. Like this. It's like, it's a posture of arrogance. And the reason behind it is when the Sahaba came to perform Umrah, the Meccan people, they said that the atmosphere of Medina has made you very, very weak. You are very, very weak people. Makkah kept you very, very strong. So the Prophet of Allah said to give them a very strong and a potent message, when you perform Umrah, pop out your chest. So you do it in the first 3, if you forgot, it doesn't matter. Don't do it in the 4th. As it is sunnah to do it in the first 3, it is not sunnah to do it in the 4th, 5th. Alright, so keep that in mind. Alright. Now after doing the 7 circuits, you go to the Zamzam and you drink Zamzam to the best of your ability. Now keep in mind, the Prophet of Allah said, drink Zamzam until you feel pain in your abdomen. Lower abdomen. Drink, keep drinking, keep drinking. But one person, he tried it out. So drank. Oh, pressure. Because it is pure water. So by the time you run to the toilets, that takes you about half an hour. I don't want to say much more. You can read between the lines. So, or read between the Kaaba and the toilets. All right. So what you do is you drink to the best of your ability. Try to drink as much as you can, but be very, very careful. Now, when a person is performing tawaf, he has to be in the state of wudu. Now, many times if a person has a problem and he can't sustain his wudu, it's very hard to leave and go and then make wudu and come back. That's why I keep a water bottle with you. A water bottle, spray one. So whenever your wudu breaks, go to the side of the mataf and make wudu there. Because the definition of washing body parts in Islam, in ablution, is that if you wash your entire face, you wet it, and 3 or 4 drops fall, it is classified as washing. So you can do that with a water bottle. Understood? You can do that with a water bottle. So keep that in mind if you cannot keep your wudu. If you can keep your wudu, it's not much of a problem. So after that, drink your Zamzam, come back. Now there is a Maqam Ibrahim. You will see of the picture of Maqam Ibrahim. This is the footprint of Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam. This footprint, behind it, wherever you can find it. It doesn't have to be directly behind it, anywhere behind, in that direction. You can pray 2 rakat nafal. Once again, the 2 rakat nafal, Qul ya ayyuhal kafirun in the first, Qul huwallahu ahad in the second. But if you don't read these 2 surahs, you read other surahs, it's okay. Right? But it is preferred to read these 2 surahs. After this, then you go out and then you perform sa'i. You will find the hilltops. So you find the hilltops, you will start from Safa, you go to Marwa, that is considered 1. You go from Marwa to Safa, that is considered to be 2. So Safa, Marwa, Marwa, Safa, Safa, Marwa, and you will finish your 7th sa'i on Marwa. Now, in between these 2 channels, Safa and Marwa, there is green lights. So these green lights are that section of the Safa and Marwa where a person should be brisk in his walking. I'm not saying running, and the reason is that Hazrat Hajar, when she was trying to find food, provisions for her son, she used to run between this area. Alright? So normally what happens is there are so many people, you can't really fulfill this condition. So many people are running on their spot, just kind of like this. Ladies, keep your normal pace. Right? So men can do that in between. Now, Safa and Marwa, whenever you're at Safa or Marwa, so you're going to get 7 chances, you look towards the Kaaba, direction is at the Kaaba whenever you reach Safa, and make dua. So these points are places where you make dua. So make a lot of dua facing towards the Kaaba.
There's a sketch on page 2.
Yeah, sketch there too, on the 2nd page. Alright. After that, your Umrah has been completed. So you go out And you will find outside that they're barbers, alright? And they can shave your hair, cut your hair, and you're out of ihram and take a shower. Done? Finished. That is Umrah. Alright. I would like you to focus upon this page now. In easy. Now we're going to speak about Hajj now. We're going to talk about Hajj now. Now before we speak about the practical side of Hajj, I would like to make mention of the fara'is of Hajj and the wajib of Hajj. So you can write those down. Basically there are 3 fara'is of Hajj. 3. To make intention for Hajj, that is the first compulsory component of Hajj. To make the intention. The second is Wukuf Arafah, staying at the grounds of Arafah on the 9th of Dhul Hijjah. Wukuf Arafah is compulsory. And the third one is Tawaf Ziyarah. Tawaf Ziyarah that is performed from the 10th of Dhul Hijjah to the 12th of Dhul Hijjah sunset. And when I say 10th of Dhul Hijjah, it is after pelting, as we will make mention. So from the 10th, 11th, 12th sunset, you have to perform the Tawaf Ziyarah, and this is a compulsory component. What are the wajibs? You want me to say that once again, all the 3 compulsory ones? The 3 compulsory components of Hajj, and number 1 is ihram of Hajj, that is the intention, all that. Number 2, Wukuf Arafah, staying at the grounds of Arafah. And number 3, Tawaf Ziyarah. And Tawaf Ziyarah is performed from the 10th to the 12th sunset. Wajibat, there are 6 wajibat. 6 wajibat in Hajj. Number 1, Wukuf at Muzdalifah. So there is a ground known as Muzdalifah, we'll make mention of that, to stay there. We will define what Wukuf means at Muzdalifah when time comes. Number 2, Sa'i. Sa'i between Safa and Marwa. And when will Sa'i take place? In Tawaf Ziyarah. Sa'i. Number 3, pelting the shayateen, pelting the Satan, known as Rami at the Jimar. Number 4, sacrifice. Animal, sacrificing animal. Number 5, halaq, shaving of the hair, trimming or cutting of the hair. And number 6, Tawaf Wida. Tawaf Wida means farewell tawaf, farewell tawaf. So I'll go through those 6 wajibat. Wukuf at Muzdalifah, staying at the grounds of Muzdalifah. Number 2, Sa'i between Safa and Marwa. Number 3, pelting of the Satan. Number 4, sacrifice. Number 5, halaq, shaving. And number 6, Tawaf Wida, farewell tawaf. You know the implications of these wajibat and faraz as we made mention in the opening of our program. Now, I would like you to focus upon this page now. Now, of course, you're going to be out of ihram. Now you're going to wear the ihram again. You don't have to leave your hotel. You can wear the ihram in the hotel. You're in Makkah, you wear it in wherever you are, Hilton, wherever you are, mashallah. You wear the ihram there. Same procedure of wearing the ihram. The only difference is you will change the intention. Now the intention will be Allahumma inni uridul hajj. I'm making the irada, the intention of Hajj. In Umrah you made the intention of Umrah, now you make the irada of Hajj. All the other conditions will apply that have been highlighted and mentioned in Umrah. Now, you will wear the ihram of Hajj. Now, because it's cut out, the date, so you can put the date. The first one is on the 8th of Dhul Hijjah. That Dhul Hijjah, the first one on the top is the 8th. Now keep in mind, there's only 5 days of Hajj. That's it, it's only 5 days of Hajj. 8th of Dhul Hijjah the first thing you will do is you pray Subah Salah. Now you're going to pray your Subah Salah, that means the Fajr Salah in your hotel. Number 2, the arrow points to the next action.